Jamie Mellers, aka Thor, 25th of February. Let's go!
Jamie, we're out on when is it? February 25th at the Doncaster Dome, where you're out for fight number 5.
Yep.
And last time out, I filmed you down at, or we filmed you, I should say, at the Doncaster races.
Yeah.
And you did something that few people do, mate. Seamus Devlin. Yes, most people beat him, but not many people put him over. I'd just been outside, I can't remember what I was, and I was coming in. You landed a peach of a right hand on him, and you dropped him. And I was like, what am I seeing? I couldn't believe my eyes. I don't think he'd been dropped. And I think you were about his 46th fight or something at the time.
Busy guy.
Yeah, all in the space of about 15 months as well. But I don't think he'd been dropped since his debut.
Yeah.
46 fights earlier. And then not only did you do it once, but you did it twice.
Twice, didn't I?
So I mean, it was like, it was a real shock, mate. And I think you know, I've just been watching you. You were sparring with your stablemate who's fighting on the same night as you, Jake Bray. You know, I was surprised because you've got a ring name of Thor, haven't you?
Yeah.
So I presume that's a hammer of a right hand, is it?
I'm gonna say yeah, but it's not how I got my nickname.
Oh, because you had long blonde hair, wasn't it?
Yeah, long hair. So everyone just started calling me Thor, and it stuck.
Yeah.
So, but I do have a bit of power behind me, which obviously I think it's starting to show a little bit now. So.
And quite a few good skills as well, mate. You're a nice boxer.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
what was your? Do you have any amateur background?
Yeah, I only had 8.
Oh right. Well, you wouldn't have known that from your professional performances.
I had 8 amateurs, but I did taekwondo before, all through my youth.
Ah right. So you used to, because the amateurs really are for learning how to control nerves.
Yeah.
Because too much nerves, you underperform. No nerves, you underperform. If you can go in, and obviously being in a combat sport like taekwondo, you learn how to control them and find out how you can be the best you.
It's weird because it's two completely different sports, but I use what I did for taekwondo. I can use here with my footwork.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's punching this time rather than kicking someone.
Yeah, because taekwondo, even though you are allowed to use hands in it, it's the art of kicking, isn't it?
It's just kicking, yeah. You don't really. It's very rare that you punch.
No.
Obviously, it's just a body. But I think I transitioned to boxing with a guy called Neil Malpaz, who was my first coach. Which I think, round Donny is probably really well known. And it's probably his most well known fight was against Big John Fury.
Oh right.
At Skelly Grange, I think it was, a long time ago. So he is well known, and he's known for his jab. So I think I was about 15, 16, my dad took me to him. So he got me that, he was just working on footwork. But once I come to this gym, obviously Jimmy helped me put it all together.
Well, I never got a chance to, because I come down here to catch up with the rest of the boys before the last show and get some little interviews, and you couldn't make it for some reason. I think you were working. So give me a little bit more insight into your background in boxing. Like you say you taekwondo, then you were a little bit of amateur boxing, only 8 fights.
Yeah.
What dragged you, because you're 28, are you now?
Yeah.
So
still young.
Yeah, I mean, you look really well, mate.
Young.
Yeah, but
I feel young anyway. That's the main thing.
What kick-started you into saying, well, hang on, why can't I be
my dad? So like I said, I did taekwondo to my early teens. I went to Portugal to compete, up and down country, and then I got a bit. It just wasn't for me. I wanted to compete with just the fighting side, and I wasn't allowed. There's other aspects with it, so I kind of fell out of love.
Yeah.
I played a bit of football, and then my dad introduced me to Neil, and he took me boxing.
Right.
I liked it from there, but I did it on and off. I didn't just stick to it.
Yeah.
Which is my downfall. I wish I'd just stuck to it 100%. So I did it on and off, and then when I did come here, do you know what? I come a couple of times, and then I left, and then 2017 I come back, and I said that's it. I'm sticking to it. And I did my amateurs. So
you did your amateurs out of Freedom Boxing then?
Yeah.
Right.
And they were a bit up and down, to be honest. I got 7 wins and I lost 1.
That's a good record.
But there were a few ups and downs. I had people pulling out last minute, and so I could have had a lot more, but obviously for them reasons, and it was just it wasn't for me. Amateur boxing, it's so quick paced and it's just scrappy. we've got quite a few pros, especially at that time. There were quite a few pros in this gym.
Yeah.
So you adapt to that sort of environment, and I suited it that little bit more. It's a little bit more slowed down, but
yeah, there's more thought in the madness that you do in boxing.
100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And
amateur boxing is more about work rate.
It is.
You know, if you're not busy, you're probably going to lose the fight.
Yeah.
And yes, you have to be busy as a pro, but there's more education behind it, isn't it?
Yeah, let's say you could throw 100 punches in a fight, but if you land 10 absolutely solid punches, you're probably going to win the round. If you're not, someone could throw 100 punches and you could block half of them. I'd probably say Floyd Mayweather, best person. He probably didn't throw a lot of punches round, but he won the rounds because his punches, he made them count.
Yeah.
So I think there is a big difference.
Oh, yeah, there's a massive difference between. Listen, you can be the best amateur in the world. Doesn't mean to say you're going to be the best pro.
No, exactly.
Gives you a slight insight into whether you can or not, but it doesn't.
Yeah, upset your nerves, like you said, innit? You're fighting with.
That's it. It's about finding out how to be the best you. And I was saying, your first 3 fights were against some of the best journeymen out there.
Yeah.
Well, all 4 fights that you had against some of the best journeymen out there. But some of them that are real. I mean, you fought like Christoph Zuplix, didn't you?
What is it?
Was that your second fight? Was that?
Second fight, we were at Down. I think that, yeah.
Yeah. And these are. I don't call him a journeyman. I call him a dangerman.
Yeah.
You know,
they are though.
He's a bit like.
The records don't speak for how good they actually are.
A bit like your stablemate in Jake Bray.
Yeah,
he's coming for a win. Coming for a win every time. He's not. Yes, he might be on the road, but that doesn't mean to say he's coming to do a job.
Yeah.
You know, he's coming to look for a win. And I noticed you had 2 of those guys that were like that.
I think the third fight was my hardest.
That was at the race
Jordan
course.
Granham.
Yeah.
He come to take my head off. But sometimes that's what you want. It's what you need. You learn from it.
I think Jordan was going through a little bit of a period where he was a bit like, because Poochie got a win over your stablemate in Dingham. And Poochie was in that mode where, sod this. I'm not getting work every week, so I might as well just go out there and cause a number. And Jordan Granham was a very good amateur.
Yeah, I did. Someone told me about he won Box Cup.
He won his first 26 amateur fights.
So he knows his way around them.
Yeah, so a very good kid. And he chooses to do a job, but I think on that night he chose to have a real good fight for him, which was brilliant for the paying fans.
Brings you on,
because it was a great fight, wasn't it? I remember.
It makes it good for people coming to watch.
Yeah, well,
I want to get. I'd love to win an area title. But I want to entertain people as well. So obviously you don't just want to come and have an easy fight and people just think, oh, what was that? I want them to give it a go.
Yeah, rightly so. That's the only way you progress, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think if this year goes really well for you, then that area title that you're talking about could come certainly very, very late on this year, or certainly early in 2024.
Yeah.
Because your manager, Jimmy, he matches you all fairly hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He doesn't take it easy on you. Which is I think good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, it's like you say, it brings you on, and it's good learning fights. And I think the guys that like you're saying, he's getting us. They come for a win, so if you can get through them, I think sometimes it's harder fighting.
Better preparation for further down the line.
I think it's harder fighting sometimes these than it is sometimes maybe a prospect.
Yeah.
Especially with Jordan and Sheamus, they know the way around the ring.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of experience.
I've enjoyed the 2 fights that I've watched of yours. I've enjoyed both of them, and like I say, you all blew me away when you put Sheamus Devlin over, because, like I say, not been done that in the previous 45 fights before you fought him.
I watched it back a few times. I think it was nice to do, and I noticed. Well, the first knockdown, I was absolutely buzzing. I think I was like, yes, come on. And then when I knocked him down again, I thought, right, I've got him here, and I rushed it that little bit too much.
But that's the learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, and maybe it would have been different further down the line.
Either way,
you don't know, do you? But that's, like I say, a great learning fight. And who have we got to be saying? We got George Rogers for your 5th fight. Again, another one of those. I don't know too much about him. I think I've only seen him once before, and that was, he fought a very, very, very good kid from Bolton called Shahil Akbar, who won amazing amounts of things as an amateur, and absolutely huge. perfectly built for boxing.
Yeah.
But he managed to survive the fight with him, which after the first round I didn't think he was. So obviously I don't think he's ever been stopped, has he?
So it's quite durable then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's at what?
Good.
Just got his record. I think he had 26 fights. He's 27, so he's younger than you.
Yeah, he is.
He's fresher.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel 20 though. He fights more than me.
So hopefully he can give you a good fight and a good test, and maybe that power that you showed in your last fight can show in this fight.
Hopefully so, yeah.
And you can release the hammer.
That's it. Whoosh.
Listen, I'll see you on the 25th.
Awesome.
Hopefully, like I say, I'll be speaking to you afterwards and saying win number 5.
Yes, thank you very much.
Jamie, you
Ciao,
take
mate.
care, mate.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.